homeowner Shaun Miller here, owner of Foundation Solution Group, and today we have Emily Cosby with us. She's a very special guest. She is the communication and marketing manager at the CCK, and CCK stands for Center for Courageous Kids. This is a fabulous program, fabulous organization. Mary, my wife, she is crazy about these guys, and they're crazy about her too. Sounds like. So we're going to dig in a little bit today. If you don't know what CCK is, we want to share that with you and give them a little more exposure. And maybe along the way, we can reach out to some people that may not be aware of what they do and how they do it, so that you can be a part of it. So, Emily, what would you? How did you get to CCK?
Well, my journey to CCK started, I'm from the Bowling Green area, so I was born and raised here, and I joined on as a summer staff member. So the Center for Courageous Kids opened in 2008, and that was the very first summer, and I joined as the arts and crafts counselor, and then came back a couple more summers with my summers off from school.
Yeah.
And then when I graduated, I was lucky enough to be able to kind of have the opportunity to walk right into a full-time position working directly with the kids and the families that we serve. And so I've been there ever since. I'm about to celebrate my 15th anniversary.
Wow. So you started at this place and you've just been there ever since.
Just been there ever since. So I've had several positions within the organization, but it's given me the opportunity to really learn what we do intimately and why we do it, and build great relationships with our participants, but also the community around us, and how we gain support.
So, wow. So are you creative?
Yeah, I would say I'm creative. I think that arts and crafts is,
she probably made it.
Arts and crafts is something that, a big lesson with arts and crafts, or just art in general, is that it's not about the end product. I think people get really nervous with, but I'm not going to be good at this. But it's not about the end product. It's the process. And I think that that's really indicative of camp as well, is that camp, we hope when kids come to camp at CCK, they take something home with them. It's not just about the days they're at CCK. It's about what they kind of take home with them that shapes their life.
So let's back up a little bit. 2008, they're founded by, is it Dollar General, the family? For that?
Not founded by Dollar General. Right. Our founder is Elizabeth Turner Campbell, who is the family that started Dollar General in Scottsville, Kentucky, where our facility is located. But we have one sole founder, and that's Miss Betty, we affectionately call her. And she had a dream. She had a son with a childhood cancer diagnosis. And then she was inspired by, after her son passed away, she visited other camps in Florida that were designed to give children with medical conditions a place where they can meet other kids going through the same thing that they're going through, but also have a very traditional experience that every child should have, which is going to camp, but needing some special care and attention based on their diagnosis. And so
when we go to camp, we never forget those experiences.
Right.
So even when we're in an adult. And so one of the neatest things is that when you go to camp and you make friends with this person, you feel like they're a lot like you because you're at the same camp. So that's priceless. Maybe we all feel a little different in the world today. I wish could anybody be just like me? And then you go to this camp and maybe I wear hearing aids. So maybe I met a guy that wears hearing aids, or a gal that wears hearing aids, that kind of thing. So that's priceless when you probably line up. So you have a campus, a beautiful campus. I've seen pictures. I'm going to visit this thing. It's on our goals list. But Mary raves about this campus. So you guys have like 11 buildings.
Yeah, I think it's even more buildings now. But in 2008, it started with, I believe, 11 or 12 buildings. So Miss Betty, our founder, she had that dream. She gave the 168 acres of land that we sit on, that was farmland of her family's. And then she donated $20 million for the construction of those 11 to 12 buildings to start with. And we've expanded in the 18 years that we've been open. But we've only really developed about 70 of those acres. So we have quite a bit still to grow.
Wow.
And since we opened in 2008, unfortunately, Miss Betty passed away in 2011. So she saw her dream come true for about 4 years. And then we still keep her dream alive every day with what we do at CCK. But we've served over 43,000 campers since 2008.
Wow. What a legacy.
Yeah. And they've come from, we're located in Scottsville, Kentucky, but we've served children from 46 different states and 13 other countries too.
So little old Scottsville, Kentucky. I'm sitting here. I've heard you would never guess to see this campus in Scottsville, Kentucky. Nothing against Scottsville. You just never would guess that this huge, impactful place that's doing all this good is in Scottsville, Kentucky. So it's that's amazing. So they're white buildings with like blue roofs.
White buildings, blue roofs. Miss Betty was very inspired by the state that we're located in, so the Kentucky bluegrass.
I got you.
I think a lot of people associate it with UK, right? Kentucky, University of Kentucky blue. But she really loved just the beauty of what our state has to offer, and so blue roofs to go along with Kentucky bluegrass, and the white buildings that it's a striking combination.
Yeah.
We have families and campers tell us over and over, the first time I saw your camp, or when we return to camp and we come around that corner, we see the blue roofs, we feel at home, right? So it's an image that is iconic to CCK.
So what kind of programs at these camps? Equestrian? Do they get to ride like horses? Or what else do they do?
Yeah. I mean, you talked about it earlier, right? Like going to camp is something that a lot of people have memories of, adults have memories of, and kids deserve to have that experience. So if you've been to camp before, there's probably a lot of what we do at CCK that you would think about when you think about summer camp, like arts and crafts or archery or horses.
Yeah.
We have a wood shop. We have a fishing dock. We have boating. But we also have things that you may not think about when you think about summer camp. We have a bowling alley. We have an indoor swimming pool.
Right.
We have a miniature putt-putt course.
So you got a wheelchair lift to put these guys.
That's
I didn't even know what one. I saw a wheelchair lift one time. I was like, a what? But a wheelchair lift to put them in the pool. So.
Yeah. So we try our best to make sure that we have our facility is designed with accessibility focused goals and equipment and just design. So we make sure that whatever one child can do, any of our kids can do.
So kind of level the playing field to try to make that experience even Steven for everyone.
You're right.
So on the same level, not, well, you can't do this, we can't do this. That's great. I heard Mary talk about. Great.
It's really important to us that if a child is going to get on a horse, that every child gets on a horse the same way, whether they're in a wheelchair or whether they're ambulatory, they can walk around.
I love it.
Same thing with getting into a boat down at the boating dock. We want to make sure that every child doesn't feel other, they feel included. Perfect. And that they feel like, I see one child getting into a boat one way. That's the way I can do it too, no matter what my physical limitation may be.
Wow, that's incredible. Big vision. So great. Patience is a virtue. I wonder how you guys have the capacity to be patient and understanding and take your time with these. I've tried it before. I don't know that it's in my genetics, and I'm a push. I'm a coach. I'm let's go faster, let's run harder, that kind of thing. So to take yourself out of that element and put it over here and be like, okay, so we're going to figure this out, and so kudos to what you guys do, because it's I think it's a gift. It's on a deep level, because a lot of people maybe aren't built that way. It's like a hurry world and a fast, and then, but so once a year they can take time out and like visit with these kids and like make memories. And so I've heard some of the testimonies from some of your campers. Wow. Yeah. So thank you guys for what you do. We're going to bring in your vice president right now and talk to him. I hear he's kind of new. Yeah. But we're going to quiz him on where his walk and his path. And so thank you for spending time with us today. Thank you. And if you don't know about CCK, they have a wonderful website. Is that right? What's the website? Our website is www.courageouskids.org. So they do several fundraisers a year, and so we might talk about that just a few more in a minute. But thank you, thank you. Emily, and best of luck. And let's circle around sometime in the future, and let's find out a little bit more about how things have grown. Hey, homeowners, we're back again. CCK. We have their very special guest. Our organization, we sponsor several fundraisers and whatnot throughout the year because we believe so much in what these guys are doing. So Brian Roy here is the Vice President of Development at CCK. He's going to share with us a little bit more about their what they do and how they do it. And so what's going on at CCK in the near future?
So many things. It's exciting time. We're about to start summer camp. So staff training starts in another week or so, and then the kids will start pouring in. So exciting time to get the property ready, to get our staff trained up, and then welcome more campers.
Wow. So I'm thinking about these 11, 12, 13, 14 buildings and 70 acres. Like how many kids running around?
We'll max out about 140 each week.
140. Yeah. Wow. And so it's 7 days, 5 days, or
we do about 5 days. So they'll come in on a Tuesday. We'll have them drop off in our medical center. Yeah. They'll get checked in. They'll meet their counselors. They'll do an orientation. Right. They'll start playing right away, and then they'll stay through to the weekend. So most campers leave on Saturday.
So on Tuesday, they got these special needs. Everybody's coming in. They're going to get their medicine squared away, their equipment squared away, and kind of get their agenda. And I guess you've already got that planned.
The program team and the camp directors are working hard to get everything organized, but they're ready. They're raring to go.
Yeah. So I'm thinking about the bunkhouse when I went to camp. You know, is everybody in the same bunkhouse, or what does that look like?
We have 4 different lodges, and so kids separate out by the lodges, and there's a lot of pride with your lodges. They have chants, they have songs, red, blue, green, and yellow. Red, blue, green, yellow. But different chants, different rivalries. It's fun, and then the counselors will be in those lodges with them.
So you got like a red tribe, a blue tribe, a yellow tribe, and a green tribe, and all that. That's pretty good. That's awesome. So, what's one of the favorite events?
So I haven't seen it yet. I'm pretty new, and each day is more and more exciting things. But the thing we talk a lot about is messy games. And it's exactly that. There's a center circle in camp, kind of the pinnacle, the meeting spot, and kids get absolutely messy. We have volunteers from the Scottsville Fire Department that come, and they'll spray hoses, make sure we wash everyone off. But there's paint, there's shaving cream, whole bunch of stuff.
Water balloon full of paint.
From what I understand, it's an absolute mess, but kids are smiling, having fun.
Wow, I've seen that's neat. I have heard about that and seen pictures of it. So what was your journey? What led you to CCK, and how did you get here? What is that?
That's a great question. So I'm a lifelong camp person. So I grew up going to residential summer camp in Vermont, and for me it was an important thing for me. I found summer camp right after my parents got divorced, and it became that second home for me, and something I really needed, and had positive role models there in a second home. So for years I've worked in a couple different summer camps. This position came up, and I started talking about it and learning about the CCK story, and it blew me away. You know, I think camp's something important for every child, but for kids who have, you know, a tough medical diagnosis or these lifelong illnesses, it's even more powerful and impactful. So I learned about it. I came and visited and took a tour, and Emily was talking a little bit before about being in the horse barn. In the horse barn, you see there's the one way to get on the horses. Right there, I was sold. It's like, this is a powerful, special place. Right. So applied for the job. Luckily, they wanted me to come on board, and thrilled to just be a part of it and raising money for important cause.
So most of these children have very I don't want to use the word severe, but it's maybe unique. And in other words, they're a minority of what they have. And so it's hard for them to meet other people that have the same diagnosis possibly that they have. So when they have this camp, that brings them with people that are similar. Is it set up that way, or is it just a coincidence that it happens that way? Or?
Well, it's powerful because they do have these diagnoses that not everyone else has. And some of them are visible. Like, you'll see kids who are in wheelchairs. You'll see kids who are using walkers, but you also see kids who have these invisible diagnoses. Right. Those will be kids who have diabetes or sickle cell. Right. So bringing these kids together where they get to match up with another kid, and they get to joke about, you know, hey, you're using a walker too. Like, they make jokes. Heard a story the other day about kids who had diabetes, and they made up a song about their pancreas. So pancreases are failing for kids who have diabetes. So they made up a funny song, and they can joke about those things together. Right. So what a powerful thing that they get to, instead of being the outlier, they're the population.
So we all have disabilities, like he said, visible, some are invisible. Like, I wear hearing aids, I have a visible disability. But usually I find that if you talk to somebody long enough, we all have a little something. Yeah. But these kids, they have, it's unique because of what they have. In other words, we don't often have debilitating or that happens, or camp experience. Yeah. But these kids do. And so this camp is designed to bring them to a regular camp experience. And so Wow. So is it hard for the campers to say goodbye, or do they get homesick for their parents? Or what do they look like?
I haven't seen it yet, but I'm sure every camp experience, they bond with these people, and these become the people they look forward to seeing every year. So I'm sure it's hard to say goodbye. It's a special place.
I like what you said, it was positive role models and that kind of thing. Kind of like going to your grandparents' house where you can't do anything wrong. That's why, but you get to do it for a whole week, get to break the rules a little bit. So, well, fantastic. So Vermont. Wow, was this like a ski lodge or what is it?
I am a skier, and it's starting to get hot in Kentucky, so I'm a little nervous. But what people have been telling me is you haven't seen anything yet, and so I got to find some swimming holes or ways to stay cool. But it's
beautiful. At least you're not Louisiana with mosquitoes about that big,
but it's beautiful here. It reminds me a lot of Vermont. We have more cows than people. So I'm seeing less cows but more horses, which I'm okay with.
So wow, you're right. So. The Kentucky, Vermont. I think Vermont's beautiful, but I guess it's what we've been exposed to and to get used to. The love of when to start seeing the mountain ranges and all that. So haven't spent much time in New England, but plan on it. So it's looking forward to that. I picture it as a romantic getaway kind of thing.
It's a beautiful spot, but they're just de-thawing right now, so that winter's certainly long in Vermont. A lot of months of coldness and ice. But.
I'm going in the fall before it gets cold, and I'm coming back home. But the leaves,
that's the right move. That's
Gatlinburg and the leaves and up there. So fantastic. So, what's the next fundraiser coming up for CCK?
We got a couple coming up. So our big one is Stars and Six String. That'll happen in the fall, right after Halloween. Beautiful one we're going to do at the Corvette Museum this year, which is going to be fun. We'll get a band.
Went to that.
We'll do some silent auction things, but we'll raise a bunch of money for kids coming to camp.
Right.
We also have a clay shoot coming up in August. So clay shoot and Stars and Six String.
Clay pigeons, love it. Love it. So if somebody wants to get involved with CCK and like be a contributor, maybe short term, long term, big, small, how do they do that?
I mean, there's tons of ways to get involved, and we talk about 4 pillars of giving back to CCK. So financially is always welcome. Love financial gifts. It's how camp has survived over all these years. Right. Not survived, thrived over all these years.
Right.
Kids come absolutely for free, so families aren't paying anything when they show up to camp. So we rely on those sponsorships to keep us moving. So financially is one way. Gifts in kind are always helpful. We'll get some organizations come out and they'll build a fence for us or they'll fix something for us. Wow. We also use tons of volunteers. So volunteers coming out for a day to do a project or volunteers to support us with fundraisers. And then the fourth way to help us out is spread the word. We want people to know. We want everyone to know in Bowling Green, Kentucky.
We're doing that right now, folks.
Regionally, everywhere. Yeah.
So isn't that great? You provide this experience for these people. It's no cost to the families. And then there's plenty of ways to help. So if you can help financially, that's a good way, small or large. Or if you have time, you can donate your time. It's a fantastic organization. And so I encourage anyone and everyone that wants to be a part of this to reach out. And these guys can point you in the right direction and get you with who you need to speak with. But how fulfilling would that be to participate in something like this that impacts so many people? So,
and I'd say come to camp. Just come see it. We'd love to walk anyone around, give tours. This summer's gonna be bustling with kids all over the place. And happy to show people what camp looks like and what it's all about.
Amazing. So we all have those memories from camp. So let's help make it special for as many people as we can and support these guys. So thank you guys for what you do. Thank you for visiting with us today. And thank you for what you guys are doing. Fantastic.
We appreciate your support and having us here. We can't do it without people like you, people like Mary. It's important.